आरम्भं करोतु महोदय।
ॐ वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा। सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्देवो गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
धन्यवादः महोदय। सर्वेषां
क्षम्यतां महोदय,
स्वागतम्।
I messed it up.
चिन्ता नास्ति, चिन्ता नास्ति। The intent is important. अस्तु, so last couple of weeks we had a series of discussions about Dilipah Sankalpitavan, how should it be in the Pratyaya. I discovered that I actually made a mistake. I forgot to teach one topic, and that is why we were having these discussions. Let's start there, and if after that also we have these, it's not clear, then we'll talk more. So far we've studied Kartari, Kshamata, the Pratyaya in Karmani usage. And we've also seen the ta pratyaya used in all the 7 vibhaktis, including Sambodhana. And so we started out with ta, and then it did a comparison to Kshamata. We started out with Tavatu, did a comparison to ta, and that is how we started. And so we saw that Tavatu is in Kartari, typically, and it indicates Bhutakalam, and the Tavatu Pratyaya is Kartrupadasya Visheshanam. Balakaha Pustakam Pathitavan, Balika Pustakam Pathitavati. So Pathitavan is Visheshanam to Balakaha, and Pathitavati is a Visheshanam to Balika. And then we did the same thing with the Pratyaya, and when we saw that it's usually used with Karmani Prayoga, and it's mostly used for Bhutakalam. I discovered that sometimes, maybe 3, 4, 5% of the cases, it's also used in Vartamana Kala to indicate Vartamana Kala, but let's not worry about that. This is just additional piece of information for you. And then we saw that it is a Visheshanam to Karma Pada. So, Balakena Granthaha Pathitaha and Balakena Pustakam Pathitam. So Pathitaha is a Visheshanam to Granthaha, and Pathitam is a Visheshanam to Pustakam, Napunsakalingam and Pullingam. But it also turns out that the Pratyaya can also be used in Kartari Prayoga. So the question is when? There are two situations. One, when we are dealing with Gatyartaka Dhatavaha and Akarmaka Dhatavaha. So, Gatyartaka Dhatus are those that indicate any kind of movement. Gacchati, Agacchati, Punaragacchati, Nirgacchati, etc. And also Prapnoti, Yati also means Gacchati. So, in all these cases, Gam Dhatu, Ap Dhatu, Yat Dhatu, etc., in all those cases, they are called Gatyarthaka Dhatu. They indicate Gati or movement. So, in these situations, we can use the ta pratyaya in the same sense of tavatu pratyaya. So when we say balakah gatavan, we mean the boy went. So bhutakalam parantu kartari prayoga. Same way we can say balakah gataha. Only in the case of gatyarthaka dhatus, and also akarmaka will come to that. Let's look at the gatyarthaka dhatus first. So balakah gatavan and balakah gataha are equivalent, and balakah gataha can be used in the same sense of balakah gatavan. So normally when we use ta pratyaya, how would we say to indicate balakah gatavan? How would we say?
Balakena
Gatam.
gamyate.
Using ta pratyaya. I meant using ta pratyaya. We would say balakena gatam or balakena vidyalayah gataha. Something like that. But because this is a gatyarthaka dhatu, we can also say balakah gataha. And that will be correct. Same way, and that is equivalent to saying balakah gatavan. Balika agatavati. And we can say balika agata. Saha pustakam praptavan. Saha pustakam praptaha.
Agataha, you said you agata or agataha?
Balika. If I take balika, then agatavati agata. So forms of agataha, agataha, agata, agatam. So balika agata, etc. So that is how if it is gatyarthaka dhatus. And there is a second category of akarmaka dhatus, which also in which case also the ta pratyaya can be used just like we are using tavatu pratyaya. So jayate means born, is born, giving birth, that type of born. So balakah jatavan, the boy was born. So we can also say balakah jataha, the boy was born. Normally, if we are using ta pratyaya, we would have said balakena jatam, because there is no.
The jayate can also be in the future tense, no? Bhavishyakala.
Jayate, how?
Will not come?
Jayate is bhavishyat kalava.
No, will not. We cannot use that way, jayate.
Is it used that way?
Like that, mriyate. Like mriyate.
Possible. I'm not sure. Jayate, jai dhatu, to be born. Kshamyatam, jan dhatu. Jayate, jayante. Lrutlakara, janishyate.
Okay.
Jayate is vartamana kala, is born. Vartamana kala.
Thank you.
Chinta nasti. So, balakah jatavan, balakena jatam or balakah jataha. So, balakah jataha is similar to balakah jatavan. Or normally we would have said balakena jatam. Same way, tishtati, hadatu, stitavan, stitaha. Upavishati, upavishtavan and upavishtaha can be used interchangeably. Snatavan, snataha, hasitavan, hasitaha, ruditavan, ruditaha. So these are all similar. So there is I got all of this information from a course on Kridantas conducted by Vyoma Lab. I will send the link. If you have time, watch that at least the portion on the pratyaya. It's a very well done course. It's very exhaustive. It talks about many other types of pratyayas, including savatu and ta, like lut and others. So for future knowledge also you can use that. So if we want to use the pratyaya in kartari form, then of course it still indicates a bhutakalam, parantu it now becomes a kartrupadasya visheshanam. Normally, balakena granthaha pathitaha. There, pathitaha is a visheshanam to granthaha, and that is a karma padam. But if you want to use the pratyaya in kartari, we can only use it with gatyarthaka dhatus and akarmaka dhatus. And in that case, it becomes a visheshanam to the karta, not karma. So, udaharanartham, bhaktaha mandiram gataha. Normally, we would have said bhaktaha mandiram gatavan in tavatu pratyaya. Or if we wanted to use the pratyaya, what would we have said?
Bhaktena
Mandiram
gataha.
only, napumsakalinga. Bhaktena
Mandiram gataha.
Gatam.
Sorry.
Bhaktena mandiram gatam. But since gata gam dhatu is a gatyarthaka dhatu, we can use the same thing, bhaktena mandiram gatam, also in kartari prayoga. So in kartari prayoga, it becomes a visheshanam to the karta. So bhaktaha pullinga, therefore gataha, not gatam. So bhaktaha mandiram gataha. And here the karma padam is mandiram. So bhaktaha mandiram gataha, equivalent to bhaktaha mandiram gatavan. Same way, shishuhu hasati. We would have said shishuna hasyate or shishuna hasitam. So that is the karmani prayoga kta pratyaya. Kartari prayoga kta pratyaya is shishuhu hasita. Same way, Raghurajaha prasiddhaha. And when we did the abhyasa of converting the story to the pratyaya, we wrote Raghurajena prasiddham or something like that. Dileepaha suptaha equivalent to Dileepaha suptavan or Dileepena suptam. Sudakshina sthita, Sudakshinaya sthitam or Sudakshina sthitavati. Toyam patitam. We saw that several times. So in all these cases, please remember these are kartari prayoga usages, and these are all using either the gatyartaka dhatus or akarmaka dhatus. And here the pratyaya is used as a visheshanam to the kartrupadam and not to the karma padam, as we saw here. So that is why if you want to indicate that the boy read a book, we can say balakaha grantham pathitavan, but we cannot say balakaha grantham pathitaha. This would be ashuddham, because path dhatu is neither an akarmaka dhatu nor a gatyarthaka dhatu. So in any situation, if it is not a gatyarthaka dhatu or akarmaka dhatu, we cannot use the pratyaya in a kartari form. You have to use the karmani form. We would say balakena granthaha pathitaha. Spashtam? Prashnaha santi va?
So you mean like it's only in some dhatus. It could be used like gat, or there are more examples.
Anything that indicates movement or that does not have a karma pada, akarmaka dhatu. We will see what some more examples we will see.
So, Mahodaya, in this case, Bhaktaha Mandiram Gataha, you can use Gataha as Visheshana for Bhakta. So, Gataha Bhaktaha Mandiram Pashyati. Like that we can make sentences.
Like that we can say. Correct. Satya. Satya. Correct. Correct. Mandiram Gataha Bhaktah Prasadam Khadati. The Bhakta who went to the Mandiram ate Prasadam. So, Mandiram Gataha Bhaktah Prasadam Khadati. So, there Khadati Kartari Prayoga Lat Lakara. Mandiram Karmapadam. Bhaktah is a Karta, right? So, if you break it down, if you take the core sentence, Bhaktah Prasadam Khadati. That is the core part of the sentence. So, Bhaktah Karta, Prasadam Karma, Khadati Kriya. So, here, what type of Bhakta? Gataha Bhaktaha. So, the person who went ate Prasadam. Kutra Gacchati? Kutra Gataha? Mandiram Gataha. Mandiram Gataha Bhaktaha Prasadam Khadati. Like that. Spashtam
So,
Meera
when
Mahodaya?
Gataha Bhaktaha, Mahodaya, when Gataha Bhaktaha becomes Tritiya Vibhakti, then the entire sentence becomes a Karmani, right?
Gataha Bhaktah is Prathama Vibhakti. Bhaktaha is Prathama Vibhakti.
When we use it in Tritiya, for example, if we
when
have
you
to
want to
use
use it as Karmani Prayoga.
So if it like Gatena Bhaktena
Prasadam.
Saha Gatena Bhaktena Saha Balakaha.
Keep it the same sentence. Gatena Bhaktena Prasadam Khaditam. Mandiram Gatena Bhaktena Prasadam Khaditam.
Oh, okay. Prasadam Khaditam. Okay.
So in Kartari Prayoga we said Gataha Bhaktaha Prasadam Khadati.
Yeah.
Now, so if you want to use it in Trutviya Vibhakti Karmani Prayoga using Sa Pratyaya, Khadati becomes Khaditam. Prasadam Khaditam. So, Gatena Bhaktena Mandiram Gatena Bhaktena Prasadam Khaditam Akhadyata Khadyate. You can use all those tenses.
Okay.
But then,
Vadatu Sudha Mahodaya.
Mahodaya, in the first sentence you said Khadati. That is
Latlakara.
Latlakara. But then Khaditam becomes, doesn't it become Bhutakala?
So you want to say it in Bhutakala. What is the question?
No. I thought you were changing when you changed it into Karmani. When you
Khadyate. Then we would have said Khadyate. If you want to, if you want to use Vartamana Kala, we would say Khadyate. If you want to say Bhutakala and using Sa Pratyaya, we would say Khadita. Satyam. Good observation.
Then it will be Prasadaha Kadyate.
Prasada Pullinga va? Okay.
Isn't it
If it is Pullinga, then Prasadaha Khadyate. I don't remember if it's Pullinga or Napumsakalinga, but approximately.
Because it's written as name also, no? Prasad.
Okay.
So I guessed it. It could be prasada.
Possible. Somebody called Dizo joined. Who is Dizo? Can you please identify yourself? D-I-Z-O.
Myself, Mahodaya. Varalakshmi.
Varalakshmi.
I am listening. Yes, I think
namaste.
in my yes, namaskaram.
I got your message.
Just I came to last class only. I left the class for 6 months. Just I want to listen the class at least. Sorry.
Astu.
So
welcome,
I was
welcome.
in yes, I am unmuted. Sorry.
Astu Mahodaya. Welcome.
Thank you.
Astu. Let us do an abhyasa, then hopefully your remaining doubts will be cleared. Let's go from the beginning. So, atra ekah वाक्यं दीयते मम बान्धवाः गृहम् आगच्छन्ति वर्तमानकाल. And the abhyasa is to convert that to tavatu pratyaya and the pratyaya you in kartari. So mama bandhavaha gruham agatavantah. This is the normal usage, but this is gam dhatu, therefore we can use the pratyaya also in kartari prayoga. So mama bandhavaha gruham agataha. And at the same time, I want us to remember how we would have done this in karmani prayoga. So say that also. Mama bandhavaihi griham agatam. Sudha Mahodaya, arambham kutatu.
Saha granthalayam pravishati. Now,
normally, if we want to indicate bhutakala in tavatu pratyaya, how would we say?
Saha granthalayam. I don't know, is it
Pravishta.
No. Mahodaya, first it is in Tavatu.
So I'm giving you a clue. Pravishta.
Pravishitavan.
No. Pravishtavan.
No. Pravishtavan.
Pravishtavan.
Granthalayam Pravishtavan.
Pravishtavan.
Then Pravishtavan. Then Saha Granthalayam Pravishtaha.
Pravishtaha. So Saha Granthalayam Pravishtavan. Normally Tavatu Pratyaya, or you can also say Saha Granthalayam Pravishtaha. And so this is again a Gatyarthaka Dhatu. So Prashant Mahodaya, it is not just anything that is gum only. Pravishta, this is also a Gatyarthaka Dhatu, entered. So that also indicates a movement. That is why this is also a Gatyarthaka Dhatu, and that is why we can use it in the Kartari form as a Visheshana to the Karta. So Karta here is Saha and Pravishtaha is a Visheshanam. Therefore, it is Saha Pravishtaha, not Saha Pravishtam. Now do it in the normal Karmani.
So it becomes Karmani. Tena Granthalayam.
Alayaha. Pullinga.
Tena Granthalayah Pravishtaha.
Tena Granthalayah Pravishtaha. Typo asti atra. Typo asti.
Karmapadam nasti, Mahodaya.
Karmapadam nasti. Okay. Kim Mahodaya? अच्छा. Kim
तेन ग्रन्थालयः, सो कर्मपदं तत्र नास्ति।
किमर्थम्? ओ ग्रन्थ
कर्मणि कर्मणि तेन प्रविष्टं।
वै प्रविष्टं?
कर्मपदं नास्ति।
Granthalaya is the karma padam, right?
Granthalaya is karma padam, no?
Okay, so
am I saying something wrong? I'm also asking.
These are gatyartaka. I think she's getting confused with akarmaka and gatyartaka.
Sorry.
No, chinta nasti. Pravishtaha, I think it's a gatyartaka, not an akarmaka.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
So that is why it will be a visheshanam to karma padam. So please make a note here. If you are using this in a kartari prayoga, saha granthalayam pravishtaha, in karmani also tena granthalayah pravishtaha only. So if you see something like this, don't get confused. Here in this case, pravishtaha is a विशेषणं तु कर्मपदं which is ग्रन्थालयः, परन्तु अत्र तु प्रविष्टः सः इत्यस्य विशेषणम् अस्ति, अतः सः ग्रन्थालयं प्रविष्टः। स्पष्टं वा? So far so good. I may have made mistakes, so please feel free to correct. रीटा महोदय.
वैद्यः चिकित्सालयात् गृहम् आगच्छति. वैद्यः चिकित्सालयात् गृहम् आगतः.
आगतः तव तु मध्ये
आगतवान्.
आगतवान्. So गृहम् आगतवान् और आगतः. कर्मणि प्रयोगे
कर्ता वैद्येन चिकित्सालयात् गृहम् आगम्यते.
That is laka. If you are using lakara, if you are using ta in kartari, ta in karmani,
then agatam.
Vaidyena chikitsalayat griham agatam. So here griham is the karma, so agatam. Kanchan Mahoday.
महोदय, मंत्री आसन्दे उपविशति. मंत्री आसन्दे उपविष्टवान्. मंत्री आसन्दे उपविष्टः. मंत्रिणा आसन्दे मंत्रिणा आसन्दः उपविष्टः.
आसन्दे on saptami, that won't change.
आसन्दे उपविष्ट.
मंत्रिणा आसन्दे उपविष्टम्. अत्र कर्मपदं नास्ति किल? Therefore you have to, when there is no karmapadam, you have to use the napumsakalinga prathama vibhakti ekavachana form of the sa pratyaya.
अस्तु महोदय.
So Prashant Mahodaya, this is also another gatyarthaka dhatu. Sri Vidya Mahodaya.
Upavishati is a gatyarthaka dhatu?
No, it is not.
Then you were saying something?
I thought it was.
अकर्मक धातु महोदय.
अकर्मक धातु अस्ति. अकर्मक धातु अस्तु. अकर्मक धातु अस्तु. श्रीविद्या महोदय.
महिलाः भूमौ तिष्ठन्ति. महिलाः भूमौ तिष्ठवत्यः
तिष्ठवत्यः
स्थिताः
तिष्ठाः
महिलाः
स्थिताः स्थिताः तिष्ठाः न स्थितवत्यः स्थिताः स्था धातु अस्ति धातु इस् स्था
स्थिताः महिलाभिः भूमौ स्थिता
कर्मपदमस्ति वा तत्र
भूमौ स्थिताः
is there a कर्मपदं there
yes yes कर्मपदं भूमौ
भूमौ कर्मपदं कथम् ऑन ग्राउंड सप्तमी विभक्ति अस्ति कर्मपदं नास्ति चेत् if there is no karmapada your ta pratyaya will be in no if there is no karmapadam here mantrina asande upavishtam so there is no karmapadam therefore napumsakalinga prathama ekavachanam so you have to do the same thing here also no what is the what
sorry
pratyaya no I'm hold on stha dhatu what is the ta pratyaya forms in pumlinga napumsakalinga and strilinga sthitah pumlinga sthita tell me sthita strilinga
one minute Mahodaya, my dog is barking so that's sthita vasau
no okay that is the dvivachana bahuvachana chinta nasti napumsakalinga sthitah pullinga sthita strilinga napumsakalinga will be
sthitam
स्थितं so महिलाभिः भूमौ स्थितम् अत्र कर्मपदं नास्ति so you have to take the napumsakalinga prathama vibhakti ekavachana महिलाभिः भूमौ स्थितम् स्पष्टं वा
क्षम्यतां महोदय
so you don't
this is visheshanam to महिलाभिः won't it be sthitani
bahuvachanam
so the rule about when there is no karma pada then you have to use the napumsakalinga that rule will still apply right this is karmani prayoga why sthitani
is mahilabhihi bahuvachanam
I got it Mahodaya Shamyatam I got it irrespective of whatever it will be
napumsakalinga Gayatri Mahodaya Mahilabhihi is fine this is tritiya vibhakti this is karta but if there is no karma then your ta pratyaya what will it be a visheshanam to in tavatu karmani in ta karmani the ta form will be a visheshanam to karma padam not to karta so whether it is mahila yai mahilabhyam or mahilabhihi it will always be sthitam
okay
Shrividya Mahodaya prashna अस्ति वा
Bhanumaday, one thing to clarify, like it is then like this bhave prayoga. This is what you mean.
Bhave prayoga is used when we talk about lakara, but yeah, you are right. Conceptually, they are similar. If correct, if we were using it in lakara form, what would we have said?
In
भूमौ
Sthiyate, right?
Yes.
There you would use the prathama purusha ekavachanam. If you are using
Yes.
lakara form, we are not doing lakara, we are only doing ta pratyaya. So there are two things here, right? When you are using in karmani prayoga, when you are using a lakara form, if there is no karma padam, then you would use the prathama purusha ekavachanam. If you are using it in ta pratyaya, the karmani prayoga in ta pratyaya, ta is a nama padam, not a karma padam, right? Akshamita, not a kriya padam. Therefore, when there is no karma, then you'll use the napumsakalinga prathama ekavachana. Concept is the same, but the usage is slightly different.
Okay.
Srividya Mahode, you were going to ask me something? Astu. Gayatri Mahode.
स्वामिनः पुत्री काशी जायते.
Jayate. I think Jayate is incorrect here, right? Kashyam Jayate.
महोदय,
I'm thinking, why is Jayate? Jayate is born, right? To be born, Jan, Gachati. Let us take it as Gachati. Idanim karot. Kashim Gachati.
स्वामिनः पुत्री
Ekakshana. Shamyatam. Kashim. Kashim Gachati.
स्वामिनः पुत्री काशीं गच्छति. स्वामिनः पुत्री काशीं गतवती. गति. Then स्वामिनः पुत्री काशीं गता.
Satyam. Gata. And if you want to do it in Karmani Prayoga?
स्वामिनः पुत्र्या काशी गता.
Let me first fix this. Katavati. Katavati and Gata. Swaminah Putriya
Gata.
Gata va Gatam va.
Gatam. Kashim is
Kashim Gatam, no?
Kashi Srilinga Mahodaya.
Kashi Gata. Satyam. You are right. Kashim. Kashim. Correct. Kashi Gata. Srilinga. Satyam. विराज महोदय.
नाटकस्य अन्ते नटाः निर्गच्छति. नाटकस्य अन्ते नटाः this will be gamish.
First to gam dhatu, normal tavatu pratyaya.
Okay.
And then add the nir.
Nirgatavan?
Nirgatavan. Ekavachana. Parantu atra nataha bahuvachanam.
Yes, okay. Nirgatavantaha.
Uttamam. Sampurnam vakyam kim bhavati?
Natakasya ante nataha nirgatavantaha.
Uttamam. Ta pratyaye kartari.
Natakasya ante nataha nirgatavantaha.
Nirgataha.
Sorry, yeah, correct. Va will
Nirgatavantaha is tavatu. Nirgataha.
Nirgata.
Karmani
Shamyaktam. Is this natakasya ante nataha nirgachanti or gachati?
Nirgachanti is vartamana kala. What we are doing is trying
no,
to...
No. Here the question itself.
Question itself. Typo. Nirgachanti. Shamyatam. I did this last night at the last minute. I didn't have time to do it sooner. That is why there are so many typos. Shamyatam.
Shamyaktam. I just wanted to clarify.
No, you are correct. Karmani prayoge kim mahodaya?
Natakasya ante, this will be nataihi. Sorry. Yeah, correct. Natakasya ante nataihi nirgachatani.
Atra karmapadam asti va?
Oh, okay. Then it will be just nirgatam.
Nirgatam. Natakasya ante nataihi nirgatam. Karmapadam nasti ataha napumsakalinga prathama ekavachana. Ramu mahodaya.
Tasyaha mitram kada snati. Tasyaha mitram kada snatavan.
Snatavan. Snataha. Snatana. Snataha.
Tasyaha mitram kada snata.
Mitram na. This is you have to, in Karmani Prayoga, you have to do this in Trutiya Vibhakti, right? Mitrena.
Tasyaha mitrena kada snata.
Karmapadam nasti chet?
Snatam.
Snatam. Correct. Tasyaha mitrena kada snatam.
Mahoday, mitram naputsakalinga asti, no?
So that is what I was going to say. If you know it is a male, you can say snatavan or snataha. If you know it is female, you can say snatavati or snata. But if you don't know anything, normally we use pullinga form. Yes, mitram is napumsakalinga, but it is one of those rare words, just like shishu. Even though it is napumsakalinga, we can use either strilinga or pullinga if we know the whether it's a male or a female. And if you don't know, you are welcome to use male pullinga. Prashant Mahodaya.
Mहोदय. Bhavan Ashirvadam Prapnoti. So it would be Bhavan Ashirvadam Praptvan.
Praptavan. Correct.
Praptavan.
Tavatu pratyaya.
And then Bhavan Ashirvadam Praptah.
Praptah. Bhavan is Pullinga, therefore Praptah. Satya.
And then
Karmani Prayoge.
Bhavan, it would be then I don't remember.
Bhavata. Bhavata.
Bhavata Ashirvadam Prapnotam.
Praptam. Praptam.
Praptam.
Ashirvada is Pullinga, therefore Ashirvadaha Praptaha. If it was Napumsakalinga, Ashirvadam Praptam, Parantu Ashirvada is a Pullinga Shabda, therefore Ashirvadaha Praptaha. Uttama.
Ashirvada Prapta.
Rohini Mahoday.
Yogi Ashramam Yati.
Mahodaya, sorry for interrupting, Mahodaya. This Praptam also comes under Akarmaka because here there is Ashirvadam, no? Kim Praptam Ashirvadam. So won't it be Ashirvadaha Praptaha?
That is what we wrote, Ashirvadaha Praptaha.
Okay. So I thought it was Praptam. Okay.
No, initially I said Praptam. I thought Ashirvada was Napumsaka, but then I saw the answer and I remembered Ashirvada is Pullinga, therefore it is Ashirvadaha Praptaha.
Okay, Mahodaya. Thank you.
Vadatu Rohini Mahoday.
Yogi Ashramam Yati. Yogi Ashramam Yatavan.
Yatavan.
Yata. Or Yata.
Yataha. Yogi is Pullinga, therefore Yataha.
Yogi
Yataha. Yati means Gacchati. Same as Gacchati.
Yes. And Yogina Ashramaha Yataha.
Ashramam Yatam. Ashrama, is it Pullinga?
I doubted it, I didn't know. Okay, Ashramam.
If it is Pullinga, Ashramaha Yataha, Napumsakalinga asti chet Ashramam Yatam.
I think it's Napumsaka, Mahodaya.
Pullinga. Ashrama is Pullinga. So Ashramaha Yataha. You are correct.
Yes, ma'am. But many of the words they come under both the lingas, Pullinga and Napumsakalinga.
That is correct. That is why.
So we are not able to identify this.
Correct. Even I get confused sometimes whether it is Pullinga or Napumsakalinga. I think it is because of the way we use it in our own languages. In our languages, we normally don't say Ashramaha, right? We just say Ashramam, Mandiram, Vidyalayam, etc. So, but in Sanskritam, it is Vidyalayaha, not Vidyalayam. I think that is where our confusion comes from. Uttama Mahoday. Sumitra Mahoday.
Vayam kapata natakam društva asamaha. Vayam kapata natakam društva. It is Bhagavachanam. So,
Has dhatu. If you are not able to answer, don't worry, Mahoday. I'll go to someone.
Yeah, I'm having cough, Mahoday.
Chintana. Hina Mahoday. Karoti etat.
Vayam kapata natakam drashtva hasitavan.
वयं बहुवचनमस्ति अहम् आवां वयं
हसितवन्तः
हसितवन्तः कर्तरिक्ता मध्ये
वयं कपटनाटकं दृष्ट्वा हसिताः
उत्तमं कर्मणि
अस्माभिः कपटनाटकं दृष्ट्वा हसितानि
अत्र कर्मपदमस्ति वा
no sorry नाटकं so it will be हसितं हसितं sorry
अत्र टाइपो अस्ति सहितवन्तः न हसितवन्तः क्षम्यतां for so many typos. I didn't have time to do the proofreading. अस्माभिः कपटनाटकं दृष्ट्वा हसितम् उत्तमं so now our sentence that the whole thing got started because of this vakyam चैत्रा महोदय प्रयत्नं करोतु
दिलीपः वसिष्ठं द्रष्टुं संकल्पयति
लट्लकार
लट्लकार दिलीपः वसिष्ठं द्रष्टुं संकल्पयति दिलीपः वसिष्ठं द्रष्टुं संकल्पितवान् तव तु प्रयोगे दिलीपः वसिष्ठं द्रष्टुं संकल्पितः
किमर्थं संकल्पितः
विशेषण फॉर दिलीपः
दिलीपा is the karta and it will be विशेषणं to karta सत्यं कर्मणि प्रयोगे किं भवति
कर्मणि प्रयोगे दिलीपेन वसिष्ठं द्रष्टुं संकल्पितम्
उत्तमं संकल्पितम् so अत्र दिलीपः so the katha had दिलीपः वसिष्ठं द्रष्टुं संकल्पितवान् and our abhyasa was to convert this into कर्मणि प्रयोga so दिलीपेन वसिष्ठं द्रष्टुं संकल्पितम् so by Dilipa to see Vasishta sankalpa was done and here also Dilipa made a sankalpa to see Vasishta bhutakale made a sankalpa same thing ta pratyaya will also be in bhutakala even though it is kartari prayoga so Dilipa to see Vasishta made a sankalpa
but Dilip is masculine, no? Here, like I'm getting a little bit confused. Dilip is
Dilipa
so we can use so sankalpita could also be used or no?
In this one?
Yes.
अत्र कर्मपदं नास्ति किल is there a karmapada
no
there is no karmapada so if there is no karmapada then ta pratyaya will be napumsakalinga prathama vibhakti ekavachana sankalpitam so this is a akarmaka dhatu sankalpita is a akarmaka dhatu so there cannot be a karmapada
भानु महोदय दिलीपः अत्र टाइपो अस्ति वा आई एम नॉट श्योर
टाइपो अस्ति as I said I didn't have time to do any proofreading I did this right before going to bed क्षम्यतां for so many typos
Bhanumahoday, like this one, yogi ashram yati, there we did yatah. Could you explain these two again? Like why it is yatah here, why it is tam here? Thank you.
So here, this is a akarmaka dhatu. Okay, so akarmaka dhatu means it cannot have. Let's take a simpler example. Here, snatam. So, or even let's take an even simpler sentence. Kutra. अत्र नाटकस्य अन्ते नटैः निर्गतम्. So let us forget natakasya ante because this is Shashti Vibhakti ante Saptami, so these don't count. Nataihi nataha nirgatavan. So if you take it even simpler form, ekavachana nataha nirgataha nirgachati. That is the nataha nirgachati. Latlakara vartamana kala. How would you do it in tavatu pratyaya?
Nirgatavan.
Nirgatavan. Nataha nirgatavan. Satyam. And if you want to do sa pratyaya,
nirgata
nirgataha. Gataha. Nirgataha. Because this is a pullinga nirgataha. Kartari prayoga, and this is gam dhatu, so we can use nirgataha in a kartari form. Now, if you want to say this same thing in karmani prayoga, how would you do it?
In which one? Like lat lagar?
Karmani prayoga. Karmani prayoga. Using ta, in ta. Using ta.
Using what? Sorry?
Ta pratyaya.
Ta pratyaya. Then gatam.
So what will this become?
That would be third.
Natena. Natena. Satyam. Natena.
Nirgatam.
Nirgatam. Why nirgatam? Nirgatam only. Why nirgatam?
Because there is no karma padam.
Correct. There is no karma padam. Therefore, it will be in Napumsakalinga Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachana. So, nataihi nirgatam. Natena nirgatam or nataihi nirgatam. It's the same thing because there is no karma padam. It will always be Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachana. Same way, yogi ashramam yatavan, yogina ashramah yataha. This is what we are saying. Dilipena vasishtam drashtum sankalpitam. So take out vasishtam drashtum. Sankalpita. So that is a akarmaka dhatu. Therefore, napumsakalinga prathama vibhakti ekvachana. Sankalpitam.
And this yat one, can you explain also?
Tell me, what is the question here?
Like I'm getting
yogi ashramam yatavan gacchati. Take it as gacchati or gatavan. Atra karma padam asti va?
Yogi ashram, yes.
Ashrama is the karma pada. So yogi. Okay. Yogi ashramam gacchati. Forget yati. That is probably causing confusion. How would you say this in
Tavatu.
Karmani. Okay. Do Tavatu.
Yogi ashram Gatavan.
Gatavan. And if you want to do
Gataha.
Gataha. Satyam. Gataha. Now do it in Karmani Prayoga using the.
Karmani, then yogi, and then.
Okay. So wait 1 second. Wait 1 second. First, identify Karta, Karma, Kriya. What is Karta?
Karta is yogi.
Karma is?
Ashramam.
Ashramam. Now, in Karmani Prayoga, what will happen? Karta will become Tritiya, right?
Yes.
So, Yogina. So, now Karma Padam will be Ashramaha or Ashramam. That we don't know. What will be Gacchati in Tavatu Karmani? Gamyate if you use the Lakara form. Correct.
Okay,
correct.
Sorry. Okay. Then see. Yeah.
Satyam.
Then
This is also correct. If you want to
Gataha.
use, so it is either Gataha or Gatam. So the question is whether it is Ashramaha or Ashramam. So Ashrama is a Pullinga Shabda, so it is not Ashramam because it has to be in Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachana. Right? Karma becomes Prathama Vibhakti Ekavachana. So Ashramaha Gataha. Spashtam? Anybody else have questions about this or doubts?
Dhanyavad.
Meera Mahoday, etat karo.
सुदक्षिणा सहितः दिलीपः वशिष्ठाश्रमं गच्छति. सुदक्षिणा सहितः दिलीपः वशिष्ठाश्रमं गतवान्. Then it will be Sudakshina Sahitah Vashishthashramam Gataha.
Gatavan or Gataha.
Gataha. Then Sudakshina Sahitena. Sahitaha will be Sahitena, right?
Satyam.
Sahitena Vashishthashramaha. It will be Gataha.
Sampurnam Vakyam, this also changes, right?
Yeah, Dilipena. Sudakshina Sahitena Dilipena Vasishthashramaha Gataha.
Satyam. Vasishthashramaha Gataha. Atrapi typo asti Vasishthaha. I'll fix the typo. So Sudakshina Sahitena Dilipena Vasishthashramaha Gataha.
Mahoday.
Vadatu Mahoday.
Please explain this Sudakshina Sahitena.
Sahitaha, Sudakshina Sahita. So that is a with Sudakshina. Pullinga Shabda. So it is talking about with Sudakshina, the one who is with Sudakshina. So it's a Pullinga Shabda, not Strilinga. So Sudakshina Sahitena, by the one who is accompanied by Sudakshina, the ashrama was gone to. सुदक्षिणा के साथ जो था उसके द्वारा वशिष्ठाश्रम
में गया
था something like that. Is that the question, Mahoday? Did I answer your question?
Yes. I was not able to relate Sudakshina Sahitaha and Dilipaha.
So there was no Dilipa in the Vakyam. In the Katha, it was only Sudakshina Sahitaha Vasishtashramam Gachyati. So to provide more context, I added Dilipa in the bracket. That's all.
Asma. Clear.
Says Samastapadam Mahodaya. Just for
Samastapadam. Samastapadam.
Okay.
Mahodaya.
Viraj Mahodaya first, and I heard somebody else. Let's go to Viraj Mahodaya.
No, in that the same slide, that in the homework, I think for Dilipaha, right? So that Sankalpitaha makes more sense, right?
Karmani Prayogeva.
No, Kartari, because the story was more about Dilipaha. So if we have been told only to change the Tavatu to Taha, then Sankalpita makes more sense to the story.
Correct. Dilipaha Vasishtam Drashtum Sankalpitaha. Correct. But I think we were also asked to do it in Karmani, right? So, okay, regardless what the homework said, if he had to do it in Karmani, this is the way to do it. Sankalpitam, because it's a Akarmaka Dhatu.
Astu Mahodaya.
Any other questions?
I don't have a question, but like when we are doing Abhyasa, then if we could get like today, you have written the answer also. It is then easier, like for me at least, and maybe Ramu Mahodaya also asked it earlier. Then it's a little bit easier to revise.
Correct.
It is
that is
like
why,
it would be. Yes.
Correct. I agree. I remember what Ramu Mahodaya had asked, and that is why we started putting answers in the slide. And for every homework, you should get an answer key. It is probably not immediately sent, but they usually send it. Is it not? Have you not been receiving answer keys to all the homework?
Like Bhanu Mahodaya, I was like last year, like most of the homeworks I was not able to do. I was just revising whatever you were teaching in the class. I just took out the copy of most of the class which you were doing. So
Okay.
I didn't have time last year. So this year I've started having time again. So I'll be able to, like I'm doing now the last homework. So now I'm getting like again, like I'm able to understand more now. But it's a problem, like because you have a question and then you don't have an answer. So if it's easier, like if you write it, then we see it and it's faster.
Correct. I agree with you. That is why we started putting the answers in the slides also. That was a feedback from Ramu Mahodaya, I remember. Satyam. But in general, it's a question for everybody. Are you getting the answer keys to the homework or no?
Yeah, it is there. It is coming.
Recently we got for 37. Recently we got for whole box for 37.
So we lost some graders, we lost some grader coordinators. So we are having some personal issues. So that is why we are a little bit slow.
No, it's okay, Mahodaya. Whenever it comes, I compare and I take the corrections.
Sudha Mahodaya, Spashtam va? I know we had several discussions in the last two classes.
If Vasishtam Drashtum, it's not Karma Padam.
No, because Sankalpita is a Akarmaka Dhatu. It is not a Karma Padam.
Okay. Then what is, suppose I'm asked to, what do you call it? Don't get it. Anyway,
identify
what is
the
this?
Parts of speech.
Parts of speech. Then what is Vasishtam? Drashtum is Tumun.
Tumun Pratyaya.
Tumun Pratyaya.
Kam Drashtum. That will be the question you ask. If you do Anvaya Rachana, Kam Drashtum Sankalpitavan, Vasishtam Drashtum Sankalpitavan. So probably
then
it is
what is Vasishtam then? What is Vasishtam? What?
I'm coming to that. Probably it is a Visheshana to Drashtum. Even I don't know what it is called. I will find out.
But Drashtum can be used in any. It need not be. It's not a Visheshana for any word, or is it? That's
No,
where I'm.
It is. It is not. It is not. It need not be.
So I'm a little bit confused there.
Tumun pratyaya need not be a
Drashtam pustakam.
So I'm saying Tumun pratyaya need not be a Visheshanam to anything. That is correct. I agree with you. And just because it ends in doesn't make it a Ditya Vibhakti or Karma Padam automatically. Here, Sankalpita, that happens to be a Akarmaka Dhatu, so therefore it is not a Ditya Vibhakti or Karma Padam. So, Kim Kartum will be the Anvaya Prashna, Drashtum, Kam Drashtum Vasishtam. So, what I'm saying is, I don't know what part of speech the Vasishtam word is. I will find out. What it is called, I don't know.
Mahoday, may I submit something?
Oh, sorry.
Rita Mahoday, Vadati. If you know the answer, yeah, please share.
No, it's not the answer, but my thought process was different around Sankalpitvan. You just said it is a Akarmak Dhatu, but I thought it is a Sakarmak Dhatu. And what Sankalp did he do? Then his Sankalp, he did the Sankalp to see the Vasishtha. The answer comes as the question I put, what Sankalp? Kim Sankalpitvan.
Kim Sankalpitavan, Drashtum Sankalpitavan. That is how I also thought. But then I did research on the Sankalpitavan. I found that it is Akarmaka Dhatu.
Now I understand that is an Akarmaka Dhatu. That's why my thought process is not.
Correct. No. Even I thought the same way. That is why even I was not able to satisfactorily answer last week. It turns out it's a Akarmaka Dhatu. But what part of speech Vasishtam and Drashtum form, I don't know. Or Drashtum is Tumun Pratyaya. Vasishtam, I don't know. I will find out and tell you.
And moreover, Mahodaya, though we are not supposed to think in the mother tongue, I thought in Telugu.
Vasishtunni చూడడానికి
సంకల్పించుకున్నాడు చూడాలని Vasishtunni. So I felt Vasishtam is a karma padam. That's how I felt Vasishtam could be the karma padam, Mahodaya.
Even I thought the same way. Even I convert it into Telugu. That is fine. Nothing wrong with that. But it turns out Sankalpita in Samskrita is Akarmaka Dhatu.
Dhanyavadam, Mahodaya.
So hopefully this.
Sorry, Mahodaya. I think the Tumun preceding word always will be in Dvitiya Vibhakti, is it not? It need not be a Karma Padam always, because it is a preceding word. Even Tumun and Tavatu also. Not Tavatu. Twa. Krutva. Like, so even if you take Hasitam also, you can say, so you can add some thing like this, like Krutva. And then Hasita. You can add that. So it will look like Karma Padam, but then since it is preceding the Twa and Tumun, it is looking like a, Vashishtam. It comes like that.
Correct. That is, we all agree with that. We all agree that Vasishtam is not the Karma Padam. Okay. I see what angle you are coming from. Okay. Just because it ends in doesn't make it a Karma Padam. Satyam. Any other thoughts from anybody? Hopefully this should clear lot of discussions we've been having the last 2-3 weeks.
Yeah.
Now go back and
I-
do the abhyasa again and see if any other doubts come up. Let's talk about Meera Mahodaya. Vadat.
Even the lep, if you take the same sentence, Vasishtam Namaskritya Hasitavan, you can say that, right?
Satyam. Vasishtam Namaskritya Hasitavan. Correct. Has dhatu, akarmaka dhatu. So there Vasishtam doesn't automatically make it a karma pada.
Yeah.
Correct. You are correct. Good example. In this particular case, Vasishtam and Drashtum both happen to end in so that is why the confusion about whether it is a karma. Correct. You are correct. Astu, are you all mentally ready to start a new topic? Let's start a new topic and let's see how far we
Mahodaya.
Vadatu.
Ta pratyaya eka prashna asti, but it might be slightly off the thing. Maybe I'll ask it later. So.
Astu. We studied Karmani Prayoga in Lat Lakara and Lang Lakara. Now let's look at Lot Lakara. Just like Kartari forms have Lat, Lut, Lot, Rut, etc. Karmani also has those forms. So when do we use Lot Lakara?
Agnya Prarthana.
Agnya Prarthana. So in Kartari Prayoga, what are the Lot forms for Pat Dhatu, for example?
Patatu, Patatam, Patantu. Patha, Patatam, Patata. Pathani, Pathava, Pathama.
Pathatu. Artha kaha?
Let it be read or let it be done.
Balakaha pathatu. Vakyasya artham kim? Artha kaha?
Balakaha, like boy, either you can say in a commanding way, boy, read it, or please read it.
No, boy, no. I'm not addressing the boy. Balakaha pathatu. I'm not saying balaka pathatu.
Balaka pathatu.
That is how we use it, right? In normal form, pathatu, balakaha pathatu. Or aham pathani.
I am reading. A boy reads.
Boy reads na. Agnya prarthana kutra asti tatra.
Let the boy read.
Let the boy read.
Let the boy read. Or the boy must read. Agnya or prarthana. Let the boy read. Or the boy must read. Aham pathani.
Let me read.
Let me read. Let me read. So that is the Kartari Prayoga. Same thing in Karmani Prayoga. So Balakaha Pathatu. Tatra Karta kim asti? Balakaha. So Patatu is goes with Balakaha. So same concept applies in Karmani Lot. Here the Lot form will be applicable to the Karma Padam and not to Karta, just like in any other Karmani Prayoga. So one way to remember the Lot Rupam for in Karmani Prayoga is add Yatam to Dhatu. So Path Yatam, Pathyatam, Lik Yatam, Likhyatam, Nam Yatam, Namyatam. This is in Prathama Purusha Ekvachana. So Balakena Granthaha Pathyatam. So what we had studied was Balakena Granthaha Pathyate or Apathyata Pathyate latlakara, apathyata langlakara, karmani lot madhye pathyatam. So let the book be read by the boy. It is not talking about balaka anymore. It is talking about the grantha. Let the book be read. So grantha pathyatam. That is the core part of the vakyam. So balikaya api grantha pathyatam eva. बालकेन ग्रन्थः पठ्यतां बालिकया ग्रन्थः पठ्यताम् अत्र कर्मणः प्राधान्यम् अस्ति कर्म इज इम्पोर्टेंट सो ग्रन्थः पठ्यतां लेट द बुक बी रेड और द बुक मस्ट बी रेड बिकॉज देयर इज एन एग्जाम और व्हाटएवर बालिकया पत्रं लिख्यतां पठ्यतां लिख्यतां so let the letter be written by the girl is secondary. Balikaya patram likhyatam, balakena patram likhyatam eva. Devi namyatam, that let the Devi be bowed to by us. So here the lot goes with the lakara goes with the karma. So if it was many Devis, then we would have the bahuvachana form of namyatam. That is what it means. It doesn't matter whether it is asmabhihi or maya or balakena, it doesn't matter. So in Kartari, as Kanchan Mahodaya said, pathatu pathatam pathantu patha pathatam pathata pathani pathava pathama. Same thing in karmani form will be pathyatam pathyetam pathyantam. Pathyasva, Pathyetam, Patyadhvam, Patyai, Pathyavahai, Patyamahai. So this is for Parasmaipadi Dhatus, Atmanepadi Dhatus, as we saw in Karmani Prayoga, whether it is a Parasmaipadi or Atmanepadi, the forms don't change. They change in Kartari Prayoga, but in Karmani Prayoga, they don't change. So in Kartari Prayoga, it is Vandatam, Vanditam, Vandantam, Parantu Atratu Dhatu plus Yatam only. Vand Yatam, Vand Yetam, Vand Dyantam. Same as Pathyatam, Pathyetam, Pathyantam. So Vandhyasva, Vandyetam, Vandyadhvam, Vandyai, Vandhyavahai, Vandhyamahai. So let us look at what it means actually. So in Kartari lot form, Pashyatu means let him see, or Balakaha Pashyatu means let the boy see. Tatra Karta is Balakaha, so the Pashyatu applies to Balaka or the Karta. Let the boy see or let him see. Parantu Karmani Madhye Karmanaha Pradhanyam Asti. Drusyatam. Let it be seen. So balakaha granthaha drusyatam. Balakaha grantham क्षम्यतां balakena granthaha drusyatam. So here we are referring to granthaha. So let the book be seen by the boy. That is what it means. And if it is drusyatam, balakena granthau drusyetam. Let the boy see the two books. And same way drushyantam. And in Madhyama Purusha, drushyasva, let you be seen. Balakena tvam drushyasva, let you be seen by the boy. It is not talking about the boy, it is talking about you. Same way, balakena aham drushyai, let me be seen by the boy. And if you look at the Parichaya book, they will tell you that the Madhyama Purusha and Uttama Purusha forms of Lot Karmani are rarely used. And so in the book, you will only see the Prathama Purusha form. They don't give you these two forms because they are rarely used. Another way of remembering, a simple method I found is, if you take the lung form of karmani and the lot form of karmani, there are many similarities. Apathyata, apatyetam, apathyanta. If you take out the a and add atam, so pathyata, pathyatam. And again, apatyetam, if you take out a, patyetam, that is the lot form. Apathyanta, if you take out the a, pathyanta, pathyantam, like that. Not exactly one-to-one, but again, here in the dvivachana, it applies apatyetam. If you take out a, patyetam. If you take out in bahuvachana, apatyadvam, patyadvam. Apatyavahi, if you take out a and change he to hi, it will be. Anyway, this is one way of memorizing. You don't have to look at it this way. You can remember it any way you want. This is just as a convenience to you if this is how you choose to remember. Questions? Let's do one simple abhyasa to root this concept. So, kridatu, what will be the lot, karmani lot? Kridatu, what is kridatu? Latlakara, what is the purusha and vachana? Sudha Mahodaya.
It's Prathama Purusha.
Prathama Ekavachana.
Ekavachana.
So, in lot, it will be?
Kridyatam, Kridyetam, Kridyantam.
Uttama. Kridyatam. Uttama.
Kridyatam.
Rita Mahodaya. Lajjasva.
Lajjasyam. Lajjasyam. Is this the right word, sir?
No, Lajjasyatam.
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 I have to add yatam. Oh. Lajjasyatam.
Lajjasva. 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 So lajjasva. Ya. Atra pashyatu. Yasva. It is not pathasva, but yasva. Pathyasva.
Oh.
Kanchan Mahodaya. Murchama.
Murchama. It will be Murcha Mahai.
Murchamahai. Uttamam. Vachana Purusha kim asti tatra?
This is Uttama Purusha Bahuvachanam.
Uttamam. Harsha Mahodaya. Harsha Mahodaya अस्ति वा? अस्तु. गायत्री महोदय.
भाषेताम. भाष्येताम.
भाष्येताम. उत्तमम्. हीना महोदय. हीना महोदय अस्ति वा?
Yeah. It will be nrutyantu, nrutyatam.
Nrutyantu is what? What Purusha, what
Nrutyantu,
Vachana?
nrutyantam.
Nrutyantam, satyam. Pathantu, pathyantam. Nrutyantu, nrutyantam. Uttamam. Anantaram Viraj Mahodaya.
Spurava. And it will be Spur is the dhatu.
Purusha Vachana kim?
It will be Uttama Dvitiya.
Madhyama. Uttama Dvitiya. Satyam. So,
okay. Spuravahai.
Spuravahai. Let the two of us be touched. Atra typo asti spuna. I will fix it. Rohini Mahoday.
Duhata.
Dahata. Dahata.
Dahata. Dakyatvam.
Dahyadvam. Satya.
Dakyatvam.
Chaitra Mahoday.
Dadhe tam.
Tam, not tham. Tham is a different Purusha and Vachana.
Tam.
Dahe tam.
Dadhe tam. Pratama Purusha Bahuvachanam.
Madhya Dvivachana. Tam.
Dvivachanam. Dvivachanam. Pratama Purusha Dvivachanam. Dadhe tam. Dad dhatu Mahoday.
Dad ye tam. Remember in Karmani, you will always have the ya. Dad ye tam.
Dadhe tam.
Dad
So that is the dhatu, is it?
Correct.
That,
correct. Dadhetam is Prathama Dvivachana in Kartari. Dadhyetam is Prathama Dvivachana in Karma. So look at these forms. Try to remember them. We'll do more abhyasas later.
The Madhyama and Mahodaya, Madhyama and this thing Uttama Purusha mostly is used in shlokas, no? Like Sahaviryam Karavavahai.
Satyam. Sahaviryam Karavavahai. Satyam. Artha kaha Mahoday?
May we have we both, because it is Karavavahai.
May the two of us
have Viryam, like the strength to proceed.
Let the two of us have the strength
to proceed together. Sahavirya.
We'll look at that shloka that has the lot form.
Lot
that is
also.
a good. Lot. That is a good
shloka. But would we pronounce Viryam or Viryang?
Viryang. Viryam only.
No, Viryam, no, it would be Viryang.
That is when you are.
So it goes back to the rule about Sandhi. When it is Nitya and when it is Vikalpa. When it is compulsory and when it is optional. What is the rule we saw? When is it compulsory? When it is in a samatha, and then
Padasya madhye.
Within one pada and dhatu upasargayo.
Dhatu upasarga in the middle of a pada or a samasa, it is always compulsory. Parantu vakyetu vivaksha apekshate. So in a vakyam, it is optional. So it depends on how you pronounce it. If you are saying sahaviryam, give a pause, karavavahai, then it will be sahaviryam karavavahai. But when you are using it together, when you are saying it together without a pause, then a sandhi will happen, and then the viryam becomes viryang. So sahaviryam karavavahai. So it depends on how you pronounce it.
धन्यवादः.
Sri Vidya Mahoday, you have a question? Or somebody was trying to ask something or say something. अस्तु, प्रश्नाः न सन्ति चेत् समापयामः, समयः अभवत्. चैत्रा महोदय, कृपया मङ्गलश्लोकं करोतु. सर्वे कृपया म्यूट् मध्ये भवन्तु.
ॐ सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. हरि ओम. सर्वं कृष्णार्पणमस्तु. धन्यवादः.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
धन्यवादः.
धन्यवादः महोदय.